Are we live? Is everybody in the right spot? Yes, we are. Welcome to Biscuit Tin RPG, everyone. The game where I constantly have to move my camera back into the right position. Otherwise, I'm slightly to the left or right, depending on how you're viewing me. It could be me that's backwards. Either way, it doesn't matter. Thank you for joining us for the Red Runners this evening. I am going to go ahead and say that we are assuming that because one of the players is out tomorrow, we will not be playing City of Illumination tomorrow. So, unfortunately, we're not going to figure out what the hell happened to Ox and his absolutely disastrous designs that he's brought upon himself. Just yet. You'll have to wait till next week. Don't shake your head, Roman. Look, mistakes were made. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, please go over to my Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/BiscuitTinRPG, donate $1, and save, I don't know, me from not having $1 in my account. That's nice. I have, whatever. We're not going to jump into that. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the recaps, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Holy crap, I wrote it on time this time, so the recap is much longer than normal. You'll all be happy to know. Session 18, hunkering and hiding in the library with my homies. God damn it, why do we make these titles? Deciding to trust Issa's guts, the gang the gang decided to leave the Black Span and go visit Kodiak, their favorite Russian bear, and ask if he had a way into Cathrock, which he indeed did, for a price. Paying the price, the gang found themselves magically transported into the other side of the city. Fate, deciding that giving Majin a heads up might be beneficial. What in the hell? Oh, Jesus. Not in the middle of a thing? Now I forgot where I was. The support is
I
lovely.
didn't think you would see it instantly.
Yeah, I have a Ko-Fi stream bot. It's right there in the chat.
I don't have the chat pulled up during session because it echoes.
Well, thank you anyway. Anywhere, where was I? Something about Majin. Oh, yeah. Giving Majin a heads up might be beneficial for their venture. Went ahead to locate them, leaving the party to wait in a darkened alley. After a visit to a small apothecary shop, they found themselves face to face with unknown assailants threatening with a good time in the form of torture. I put good time in quotation marks so that you understood that it was sarcasm. Oh, wait, that's the wrong time to do it. Sarcasm. A flash of green light and a voice in the distance intervened, and the party took flight away from their would-be assailants. After a short run and deft dodges, they found themselves face to face with Majin, the betrayer themselves, and with more questions than actual answers. Majin led them to a library in hopes that the party could glean some information about what their next move should be. And while many of them had questions for Majin, one got the answer they had been searching for all along. And since I didn't write that in here because I didn't want to ruin it for anybody that hadn't seen the episode in our Discord server, Augustine recently was given a letter from her long lost actually, very long lost brother, whose name, it's cool I got this, Elliot Chevalier. And we pick up right where we left off with Augustine sitting there next to Majin, having just read the letter.
Why you gotta start with me? Why is it gotta be me?
Jesus Christ. Alias, I see your bullshit. Thank you.
Augustine is definitely tearing up. And I think she doesn't quite have the words to thank Majin at the moment, and her mind is racing. She's gonna close her eyes and reach out. She's gonna reach out to her brother, I guess.
So, as you're sitting there, Majin looks over and places his hand on your shoulder, or their hand on your shoulder, and simply says,
This is but one piece of information I can give you. Perhaps later on you can find out more.
I appreciate it. Uh, I'm sorry. I do sincerely appreciate it. Just don't know how to process it.
You know, it doesn't come as a surprise. Sometimes when we find the answers that we seek, you're never truly prepared. So take the time you need.
She kinda, like, seems to straighten her shoulders, like, straightens up a bit and just except we do not have much time right now. So, you brought us here to look for information. It is the least I can do. I also don't know that they're going to be perceptive enough to actually find something, and that they miss a lot of things. So, um,
I have every
I'm
faith in
going
all of you. Go ahead.
And Majin
I'm
simply picks up their pipe, lights it, and begins puffing gently on the end of it, staring off into the abyss that is an alley down the way in front of the library.
Augustine's gonna get up, and she's actually gonna scoop Bo off of her shoulder and cuddle Bo into her chest because she needs some form of comfort right now. Um, and we'll go to head
Boss?
into the library with him.
That was rough.
Rough is, one way of putting it.
Need some
Yes.
sandpaper?
What?
Sorry, I've been hanging out with that weird kobold's familiar lately.
Oh, a biscuit has a familiar?
I not really. Um I it's I've never seen a familiar quite like it, and I would advise that you not go near his familiar without him present. A little feisty, that one.
Spicier than you?
I can't turn into a cabinet.
We'll unpack that later.
Okay.
We'll unpack that later. And she will keep Bo cuddled in close, like with one hand, because he's just a pseudo dragon, so she can kind of tuck him against her chest.
Hmm.
And she's gonna head into the library to start helping to look for information. Has she ever been to this library with how long she's
Um,
been in Yonkap?
Considering that outside of sorry, I'm gonna move this over so I can't see the chat. Oh, then I can see. Oh man, there's no winning. Whatever. Um, Good lord. I would assume that maybe you've been here a few times, simply looking up, old ballads that may have been lost to time and things like that. Uh, but not an awful lot because Augustine is much more interested in creating than she is
Researching.
researching and redoing the wheel, as it were, recreating the wheel.
Mhm.
So to give you a heads up, what you know about the library is that quiet is paramount. You've never really thought to question why. The only thing you know is that the person behind the desk and I'll get into that in a second, is always been very like, shh, quiet in the library. And for the most part, since you know better than to start a fuss, especially in a city that you know, have a ton of supporters in, rocking the boat's not really a good idea. So you haven't really learned or gleaned anything from that. You do know that the librarian that sits behind the desk is named Master Ridgewell Beckett, and we'll get into that here in a second. So as you walk in, I'm going to go ahead and set the scene for everybody. This library is huge. It is from the outside, considering the fact that it's made out of black stone. It seems a lot smaller on the outside than it is on the end. And no, this is not a TARDIS, so shh, none of that. We're not using Time Lord technology here or extra dimensional spaces. That being said, there are rows and rows and rows of books heading back. When you enter, you
I'm
are
going to cut
greeted.
you off real quick.
Uh-huh.
Just real quick. You said that this isn't a TARDIS, but you've made numerous Doctor Who references already.
Look, my job here is trauma, not being called out. I'm going to remember this a
That's
month
our
from
job.
now. Yes. So as you walk in, the one thing you see other than this massive library with books literally everywhere, is a small desk out of carved wood. It's a dark wood. The black oak is probably the best comparison I can give to real life. Um, and behind it sits a man that has a slight blue shimmer, bearing a well-kept beard and short hair. He's dressed like a battle cleric with white monk's robes underneath plate metal pauldrons and a breastplate. Looking closer, you can see that his cause of death is a horrific gash running from his left shoulder, rending clear through his breastplate down to his right hip. You are, in fact, staring at a ghost in front of you, who is the librarian of said library. As you walk in, kind of you are muddling around waiting for Augustine to join you all, other than the short conversations you had. As you approach the front, uh, the ghost addresses you all and says, "Welcome. I am Master Ridgewell Beckett. I am the assistant librarian of the Athenaeum Arcana. I'm happy to help you find the knowledge you seek. However, mind your volume. The head librarian gets terribly upset when visitors are too loud. How can I help you?"
I shouldn't be
Well,
one to talk here. I'm very loud.
we're looking for some information. I think each of us has our own queries as well, but we're trying to find some history.
Um, History on anything in particular?
A lot of different things right now.
Okay.
Magical origins of the city. Augustine
Mm.
kind of like very quietly as she leans forward from the back of the group and then gives a little wave. Hi.
Right. Well, the ghost points at a large ledger in front of him and says, "You can ask the Grand Ledger for books on a distinct subject, written in a certain era, or penned by a specific scribe. But be wary, my friends. Knowledge comes at a price." So if you're looking for a specific subject, uh, name it now.
I believe collectively we're looking for history on how balance is held in the Shadelands.
Shadelands? Well, I don't know if we have anything necessarily about that, but the ledger does say has a few books that distinctly mention the Shadelands. There is, let me look here. There is a book called Children of the Shadelands by G.G. Whisperlips. The Shadelands, An Arcane History by Greldig Guglin. Let's see here. Screams of the Shadelands by Emmeline Devin. Those are the ones that mentioned that specifically. Balance, I don't know. Might have something to do with patrons, yes?
Mm.
There is a book here, A Philosophical Study of Warlocks, again by Emmeline Devin. And Patrons of Yon Kath, A History of Gods and Monsters by Emmeline Devin. It seems she's got quite a few books.
But since Zia's may have other things they want to look into. But is anyone else getting feedback?
Yeah, I'm getting a little feedback. Every time you talk, Haley, I think
Haley lights up.
yours
Sorry.
lights up. It's okay.
I don't know how to fix it. Hold on.
Technical issues. Technical issue. Hey, I'm trying to help while you figure it out. Killing time. Go check out my Ko-Fi. I got lots of cool shit there. You could buy things. Eventually, the first gate will be up. We're like on page 60 of 180 of editing. I know that's the same page it was on the last month, but we've been kind of at a standstill because stuff happens and life is real. Anyway, technical difficulties. Are we good? Or are you just going to be muted while you're not talking? I'm just asking. Oh, great. That's a problem.
You made
Everybody.
her leave, John.
I'm so sorry.
See what you do. Is that better or is it worse?
I mean, I'm not hearing feedback now,
Cool.
but okay.
I screwed up everybody's spot, didn't I?
Yeah, it did straight up change everybody's location for a second. Oh, there's the
Sorry.
feedback.
The feedback is back.
Oh no.
Son of a bitch.
I only hear it like every couple words.
Yeah, it's like certain pitches. 90% of what Quinn says and like 2% of what I say. That's it.
I'll
I'm
have to
blaming
listen until
Quinn.
this. If
Huh?
it's going to like a speaker, like out loud, maybe it's just like your mic is catching your speakers or something.
Maybe. I don't know why. It's never done it before. Carry on without me for a moment. I'll see what I can figure out.
All right, just don't leave because then everyone's going to be all confused again, especially me.
You're always confused.
Yep,
I
there
take
it
it
is.
back. I'm leaving the feedback strictly to fuck with your ears.
Oh no. All right. So those are the books that appear right on the ledger up front. You can look for other things. You can go locate those particular books. It's your choice.
Augustine wants to go locate the I already forgot the author's name. I'm so bad with names. The one who wrote the last two books that were mentioned,
Emmeline
and then a
Devin.
third book. Yes.
So
Wants to go locate the books by her, them,
okay.
them.
So if
And
you're
we'll enlist the help of Bo for that.
okay. All right, so just to make this a little bit easier, we're going to go ahead and I need you all to just give me an initiative so that we can go turn by turn to see if one of you picks up a specific book, because how this is going to work is you can look up one book at a time, and the next person, if they choose to look for a book, they can do that as well. And I will be rolling for Jean. Because Jean is here, but a little bit silent and looking in the ledger for a different book, as well as what you're all looking for as well. All right.
Not 20.
All right. So that was so Issa is 20.
Mhm.
Okay. Riva,
19.
19. Unya,
So 18.
well, this is going to work out well. Augustine,
Initiative, right?
yes.
Okay, 23. Just making sure I rolled the right thing.
All right, we're going to go ahead and have Unya do an 18.5. So you'll go first. Descending. All right, a little bit of mood here for everybody. All right. So, Augustine, you were looking at the book first, so here we go. A little bit of mood. I'm going to turn that down just a tad. All right. So, which book is it that you wanted to pull first?
I think the one specifically on the patrons
All
and
right.
the
So,
gods.
Patrons of Jan Kath, A History of Gods and Monsters by Emmeline Devin. Okay. Let's see here. Patrons of Jan Kath. So, you kind of browse through it and you take a look at it. So the knowledge you gain after a little bit of reading here is that the patrons came here from realms not bound by corporeal form, but our world is very much bound to the physical. Ergo, it all had to start from some physical point, a place where the Shadowfell, the Feywild, and other planes of existence converge. Dorian knows of it, I am certain. He built his empire here because the patrons were here. It has something to do with the nameless Black Sea. It's why he built his stronghold along the coast, putting a stop to the pagan rituals that used to occur there. Everyone make a perception check as Augustine is reading through that book.
Oh, so not Augustine?
Including you, just to see if you notice it.
Oh, okay.
You'll be at advantage, though.
12.
Okay.
15.
16.
All right.
Just a moment. I'm using a digital dice roller because I don't have my dice tray right now.
Okie dokie.
26.
All right. So, as you're reading this book, you open it up, and it takes a second for you all to realize it. Even you, Augustine, a tiny rain cloud has materialized above your head, and it's soaking you in a torrential downpour that follows wherever you go. During this time, while this is on you, you have disadvantage on dexterity stealth checks, melee weapon and spell attacks, and when dealing fire damage. Instead deals half damage. However, you gain advantage on charisma ability checks due to the sympathy from others who see you standing in the rain.
The summer glow now has freaking halved fire damage. Okay, one more time. So
Augustine, life
disadvantage
review.
on
Uh,
stealth.
Dexterity stealth checks, melee weapon and spell attacks, and when dealing fire damage, it instead deals half damage. You have the curse of the rainy day. All right. While you're kind of contemplating what just happened with your life, Issa.
Sorry. History of the Shadelands, please.
History of the Shadelands. Let's see here. That would be the Screams of the Shadelands, correct?
You
Oh,
said
there's-
children, history, screams.
Yeah, there's Children of the Shadelands. The ones you know about are Children of the Shadelands, A Philosophical Study of Warlocks, The Shadelands. Oh, the Arcane History. Okay. By
That one.
Greldig Guglin. All right. All right. So you open the book and you begin reading through it. The knowledge you have gained from this book as you read through it, I find it maddening how many of these heretics look for the origins of power in this place. It doesn't come from the sea or the earth beneath our feet, you fools. The patrons who so graciously share their power did not arrive from some distant shore. They come from places beyond the grasp of the physical realm. There is no physical origin. They have blessed this patch of land, and we should be thankful. Those who search for this so-called well of souls should be cast out, if not sacrificed in offering to our benevolent patrons. All right.
I have to glance at more of that well of souls if we can find it.
Do you say that out loud?
Just very, very quietly under my breath.
Okay. You realize that something strange has happened to you as you are now under the curse of amplification. You literally can't keep your voice low, and the sounds of any movements you make are amplified as if a microphone hovered overhead. You have disadvantage on dexterity stealth checks, and on a failed check, the player's voice is so loud that something will happen. So as you do that, I need you to make a stealth check as you try to muffle your own voice.
Well, heck. Do I have anything for stealth? I do not. 12.
Oh, shit. All right, everybody. I wasn't planning on this happening, but I guess we're here
We
now.
haven't even been
You
here
lying
5
bastard.
minutes. We haven't even been here
I haven't
5
even got to
minutes.
look for a book.
So we'll get to that
I
here
I
in
want to
just
note
a
that
second.
Augustine is sitting off at her own table right now. She is not sitting near Issa right now. Issa can
Is
deal
gonna
with this.
save you.
I'm not the one making the noise.
All right, let's see if I can find the thing I used for that. Well, that's gone. All right.
Oh, good. We don't have to do it.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna just use something else. Oh, we're gonna bring back a classic here, just so I can.
A classic.
Yeah, by that I mean I'm bringing back an old character's token.
I will be right back literally within like a minute. I'm going to grab a drink real quick.
Okay. So we'll get to that here in just a second. We're going to go ahead and go through the rest of the turns because that will be happening right at the top of the order. So, Issa, you've just screamed and you hear a rush of sound as the books kind of fly off the shelves as a wind rushes towards you. Riva!
Is it my turn or is it?
Yes, it is
Pick a
your
book.
turn.
Let's see what books we got that hasn't been picked yet.
All right. So, Children of the Shadelands, a philosophical study of warlocks. Screams of the Shadelands are the ones that you have seen or heard of that have not been picked.
I'll go for Children Shadelands.
All right. Children of the Shadelands. All right. By Gigi Whisperlips. As you're reading through it, the knowledge gained is there's always a way out of every problem in the Shadelands. Patrons lurk around every corner, under every bed, within every shadow, just waiting for the chance to grant us mortals power in exchange for a piece of our eternal soul. If you find yourself in that rare instance, desperate for aid, but with none in sight, just reach out with your mind, with your soul. Rim Exius is not a physical place. It is a state of mind. Help will come to those who ask for it. As you finish reading that thing, the book sprouts wings and flies up to perch on your shoulder, like a parrot. You now have a Curse of the Paper Familiar.
Oh.
On the upside, the player will have advantage on any intelligence checks while using the book. If the player character wants to ask a question to any of the other players, or even an NPC, they have to ask the book familiar first. If they don't ask their book their question first, the book nips at their ear, dealing 7 piercing damage. The book is bound to the player until they find a way to break the curse.
Oh, now I gotta write down that. Okay.
I'll get you a copy of it. That being
Wonderful.
said, as you kind of read through that and you see this book perch up on your shoulder, you hear a loud, I guess I'm going to have to ask about that, from on the other side of the library. And you hear a rush of wind. Unya!
What was that one about philosophical views?
Philosophical Study of Warlocks by Emmeline Devin. All
That's
right.
the one.
So, you begin reading through the book, and you kind of gain the following knowledge. It astounds me how few warlocks question the source and intrinsic nature of the power they've been given. Very rarely do I receive anything more than a blank stare when I ask them what their patron is getting out of the deal. Poor fools. Those who are the least informed have likely struck the worst deals. I know what my power will cost me in the end. That is why I must undo it. That is why I must find Rim Exius. The well is there. I know it. You're immediately turned to stone.
Are you fucking kidding?
The active player is permanently petrified. At the start of each of their turns, they may attempt a Constitution save, freeing themselves of the petrification on a success. It is now the end of your turn. You are a statue, so you hear nothing. Jean. Ooh. Jean's looking at the book and kind of looking at a few different things. And, pulls a book over to him using his mind powers. And just to make this fair, so I'm not being a dick and Jeff can't get mad at me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minus 1. 2, 3. All right. Here we go. Get out of here. All right. Oh my god. This is not great. So I'm going to go ahead and read the knowledge gleaned from this before I absolutely ruin everyone's night. The knowledge gained is the lights in the sky are gorgeous. The frosted forest is breathtaking, and the display of magical prowess in the city is nothing short of miraculous. But I cannot merely sit back and enjoy the beautiful symphony of the otherworldly forces that permeates this place. I must find the source of this beauty, for if I do not, my heart shall explode. I hear tales of a well not of water, but a well filled with something much more vital to the health of the Shadelands. I now get to assign you numbers. And this is where it gets weird. Here we go. I need you all to write this down because this is about to get real funky real quick. Unya, you are 1. Issa, you are 2. Riva, you are 3. Augustine, you are 4. And Jean is 5. Player 4 oh Jesus. Player 1's mind is now inside of player 2's body. Player 2's mind is now inside of player 3. Player 3 is now inside of 4. 4 is inside of 5. And 5 is inside of 1. You are all in alien bodies. Now, to this, you all still have the knowledge of how you would normally handle things. However, because you are in the bodies of something you are unfamiliar with, you will use your normal stats. However, you will be with a disadvantage on doing anything that you're normally capable of. Anything that requires an attack, a save, a skill check. Actually, skill checks will work just fine, unless they're physical based. And John kind of looks over, or in this case, Augustine, you look over and see yourself. Yes, go ahead.
You said that Jean is now in player 1's body.
Yep.
So he's now a statue.
Yep. So I have to make saves for John at disadvantage.
John is a statue. So wait, sorry. John is statue. Issa is Riva. Riva is not Augustine. Augustine is...
And Jean.
Unya?
Mm.
Oh. Wait, who am I
and
in
John's
now?
You're in Issa's body.
Yes.
Have fun in there.
That's a dangerous phrase with this group. Have you not figured that out yet?
However, everyone needs to remember that your weapons and gear are on your old body.
And some of us just got spicy new curses.
Yep. So let's
I
go,
went from-
everybody.
Have fun in there.
So as this happens, you all kind of look over and, well... Hold on, I have to read this. Chat says, you know it's a good time to you know it's a good time when you ask, who am I inside? Ooh la la!
God damn it.
Thank you, Alias. That was lovely. Well timed. Now,
I'm,
that being said...
I am curious. I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Fate come in here with us? Wouldn't there be 6 bodies to be switched around?
You know, I completely forgot about that, and you're right. So, I'm going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. We're going to roll a die 4, and whichever one it lands on, y'all are switching with Fate. I'm going to start this way, how it looks on my screen. My screen, not the game screen. So, good luck, everybody. Riva, you're actually in Fate's body. And Fate is,
Augustine?
Yep.
Augustine's body.
Yep.
And so...
There you go.
Now,
Now,
Fate
as
gets to
that-
suffer with us.
Yes, as that happens, Unya, you were petrified a second ago. Your senses were deafened. Suddenly, you are standing in a place that you don't remember standing, and you look off to your right as you realize that you can't be quiet. And a ghost, a foul creature, rushes towards you and yells, "Silence in the library!" And we're going to go ahead and work with the initiatives we have. Let me go ahead and put Fate on here. Oh, that's not good. Where? Oh, I didn't put Fate on here at all. Hang on a second. Oh, that's her. whatever.
Fate's gotta get cursed too, right?
Huh?
Fate's gotta get cursed too, right?
She's in
All in
in
this
Augustine's body.
together.
So yeah, she's got a thing floating above her head. Here we go. There's Fate. We'll just go ahead and drop her right there. I'll go ahead and name her real quick, and then we'll go ahead and pull up the map so that everyone can see it. And I'm going to put you all in random places, because that's fun, because you were all looking for different
Do
books.
we? So our weapons are still with our bodies.
Yep.
Do we still have our magic?
Your magic is still usable. However, if you require a spell focus of any kind, you do not have it on you. All right. And since this is the Ghost of Christmas Now, oh boy. Okay, damn it. Okay, so, I didn't realize this was going to happen, so hold tight. Let's see. The head librarian was heading for Issa right there. And now I get to switch everyone around. So, you will all notice here in a second that I will have your tokens not with who you are. So, Augustine, you will now be in control of Fate's character.
You mean John's?
Yeah, I'm just going to give everybody access to everybody's for just this, the sake of this. And then I will never use these tokens again because it's a pain in the butt. All players, save settings, all players. So just remember who you are. All right. Okay, just
Who
make
we
sure
are
everyone's
inside or who we are outside?
here. Yes. All of your inside outsides.
I take
All
it
right.
back. That's the new title.
All of your inside outsides. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring you all to the map now. You are there, and let's bring the audience to the map and make sure that that popped up properly. Wonderful. Look at that lovely library you're all in. Oh, I forgot. You're all hidden. Hang on. Reveal areas. There we go. That's weird. There we go. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit spicier. There we go. So, a librarian who is, I made larger for the sake of this, is medium, but it's a ghost. And I'm using a beloved character from the last game I've ran of this. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and add Fate to the initiative order. And Fate is in Augustine's body, so that's going to be easy enough for me. Okay. Roll Fate stats. Okay, that's not good. All right, go ahead and reset. All right, Augustine, it is your go. And you are currently in Jean, I believe.
John. Yeah. Do I have my movement or John's movement?
You have your own.
You're
Like I
gonna
said-
get a real confused Quinn through this.
Yep. Wonderful. All you got to focus on is Jean's icon. That's who you are right now, unless someone can break the curse. Make a perception check.
Okay.
And I'll have a
Disadvantage because I'm in John's body, right?
Yes.
Oh, I can just do it on roll 20. I don't know what I'm doing. Wow. Well, 18.
All right. So you notice that as you look over, you see that Master Ridgewell Beckett is looking at you, and the look on his face shows you that he knows something's happened, And he merely looks at you and just points to a box in front of him. And he turns it slightly towards you, and it just says donation.
Augustine is going to telepathically say to Bo, "Get my coin purse. Bring it to Jean, because I'm Jean right now. I'm
Okay.
really lanky. I don't like this. I didn't want to turn into a twink today. So sorry, Jean.
We'll just pretend that Jeff doesn't know that that's a thing that was said out loud.
And I'm gonna move over to. I assume that this is the box. Is that
Yes.
the box?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna move over by the box to wait for my coin purse.
Okay. So that will take place on Jean's turn. Actually, that's your turn. So let's see. What is the movement of your familiar?
That's a great question. Hold on. Would it be the same as a pseudo dragon? Because he is a pseudo dragon?
Yes.
Flying 60 feet.
Okay. Yeah. The pseudo dragon, Bo, reaches down, grabs the coin purse, and try as he might, flies on over and brings it to you at the desk. Now, as an action, you could put in a donation.
Okay. We dropping in 100 silver
Okay.
to start off.
All right. Ridgewell looks at you and goes, donation accepted. Snaps his fingers, and you're all back in your normal bodies. Unfortunately, that means that all of those curses are still active.
That's fine.
So, Unya, I'm going to go
I'm
ahead
okay
and
with it,
put
that's
this, where's the button here? There's got to be something that shows stoned.
Get a little pot leaf. That'll work.
That's a different one. We're going to go ahead and put a net on you and show that you can't move and can't do nothing. All right. Augustine, that is your turn. You are now back over here. However, your all of your money and everything is sitting over here next to Jean, who is now back in his body, thoroughly confused. But thankfully, with little Sebastian, who was on your shoulder the entire time. And Issa, it's your turn. Now back into your body, you realize that you are staring face to face with a ghost. A very scary, undead-looking creature.
If I'm very, very quiet, is it going to ignore me, or am I not going to be that lucky?
You are the reason that she is here.
Fuck. I am going to panic cast Dispel Magic.
On?
I mean, the range is 120 feet, so I'm aiming it at me, but if it pings anything else, I suppose, that's fine.
What are you trying to dispel specifically?
I am trying to get rid of the loud. The loud is the problem, and I will not be able to stop being loud, so...
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let you take back that action because you know that this is, that since this is a curse, it would require the use of a remove curse spell.
Remove curse.
Yes.
Okay.
The spell would just merely temporarily disable some of your magic and abilities and armors and stuff.
Fair enough. Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay. I mean, you can attack this creature.
I could, but, like... I don't know if that's gonna help me much. I'm gonna cast shield on myself and hope for the best.
Okay. Is that a bonus action? No. Yeah. Oh, no. Shield is a reaction, so you can use that if she tries to attack you.
Okay.
You can take the dodge action.
Yeah, you can take the dodge
Which would
action, which
give-
gives
All
her
right,
disadvantage
I'm
on
a
hitting you.
dodge, and if she hits me, I'm gonna go for shield.
All right. Riva, you are on the other side of the library. You hear Zelra just go, ah! I assume. Panic noises.
I mean, I probably did realize that me bellowing did, in fact, drag this thing out from somewhere, so I'm going to be panicking quietly as humanly possible.
It sounds like, ah, 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 ah! It's really loud.
That tracks.
Sorry for everybody that had their volume up. That was my bad. But I really needed to impress upon you how annoyingly loud this is.
I think Rue's really freaking out from being out of her body and seeing someone else in it for a second. It really reminding her what happened before. And immediately hears her friend start screaming at the top of her lungs. She goes, Issa, what is going on?
I'm not doing it on purpose!
Okay.
I'm going to. I see my friend in danger, so I'm gonna.
Do you, though?
Bonus
You
action.
are on the other side of the library, and she is over here.
But those are just tables, right?
No, those are bookshelves. There
Oh,
are
are they?
rows and rows
Okay.
of bookshelves. I looked up this as a library for this specific purpose.
I'm gonna start running
Thanks.
to where I hear the extremely loud person is.
Okay. It's not hard to track
Right.
down the noise. It
Yeah,
is bellowing
I
from
take a
one side of the
dash.
library. There you go. You see in front of you anybody that uses magic, especially you, Issa, you will have advantage on this. You can roll knowledge arcana or nature to figure out what this thing is in front of you.
$23 for Augustine.
Okay.
16 with
What was
advantage.
this? Sorry.
Yep. Arcana or nature, your choice.
Both are -1. I'll try it anyways though. Oh, 18.
All right.
Really well.
You all figured it out. This is a lich. A very powerful undead. This is the head librarian. Augustine, you suddenly realize through some of the things that you've heard, you never really put them together till now, that this is who they refer to as Lady Helena Whitestone. She is the head librarian, and she is the reason why you should remain silent in the library. Silence in the library. Riva, do you have any other actions or bonus actions you wish to take or can take?
I'll go into my dance as a bonus action.
Okie
Just,
dokie.
I'll give Issa the D6 inspiration.
Okay.
I think I just walk up to Issa. Stop yelling! It's a lich that she will kill us. Issa.
You're muted, but we understood.
Oh no, that was exactly what she did. No sound behind it, just I'm sorry as with no sound.
Okay.
That's it for me though.
All right. Unya, you are made of stone. It's the beginning of your turn. Make a constitution save.
How does Unya keep getting in situations where he's just like stuck doing nothing?
16.
You are still stoned. The head
Good shit.
librarian. All right. Should have read this earlier today. Oh God. All right.
Knowing who we are as people, yeah, you should have.
Mm. All right. This is bad, but okay. We won't use that one yet. All right. I just need to look something up real quick because you know me, not looking things up before game. Do 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 do. All right. That is a 20-foot radius sphere. All right. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and do some measurements. All right. Not quite in there. All right. Okay. Where's the images? Okay. Do 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 do. All right. All right, we are going to go ahead and just, we're going to do from the web because I don't have the free stuff. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this thing right here. And we're going to go ahead and make it confirm. Okay, double that. Wonderful. It's going to end up right there. And I'm going to put it on the back. All right. There is we're going to go ahead and just leave it there, but there is a cloud of poisonous fog that bursts up. I need Issa and Riva to make whatever the hell save this is. Constitution saving throw, please. As Cloud Kill is cast upon you all.
It's a really cool 3.
You said Constitution save?
Yep.
Okay, so 8 plus 6. And I get my +3 on saves for that as well, right?
Yep. Riva, you will
17.
also get a +3, but that's not really going to matter right now. 17, you said?
Yeah.
You both failed and take 38 poison damage.
Okay, I'm gonna use Stone's Endurance to take less.
All
It's a
right.
D12, I think. Yeah. Plus con, so 12 damage less. How much was it in total?
38 poison damage.
All right.
DM's rolling hot dice tonight.
Oh god, I need a calculator.
The area that is right here is also heavily obscured. So you will be at disadvantage when making dexterity throws or attacking while inside that sphere. All right. Is Jean's turn? Jean is going to do a thing. Now wishing I had Jean's thing because I didn't think y'all were going to do this. I'm going to make some shit up. Wonderful, Jean. You did a great thing. He's going to change the save to that. All right, perfect. A beam of energy lances out from Jean's hand, imitating a disintegration ray. A second one comes out. Misses. The third one does hit. So 2 beams of fire lance out of Jean's hand and fly directly into the back of the Lich. Oh, wonderful. And I get to do this. Where's the die 8? There it is. All right. All right. That was a pretty solid hit of fire slamming into the back of the Lich as she turns around and snarls at Jean. And at the end of Jean's turn, that's a problem. Nope. Everybody within 30 feet of Lady Helena must make a Constitution save, please. Which I believe puts
It's basically everyone, right?
Nope, not Augustine. Honestly, just Jean
Wow.
and Issa and Riva.
16. Unless, oh wait, do I get another +3 from your aura?
You get a +3 since you're next to
So
me.
19 in total.
All right.
Dirty
D6,
20.
by the way, if you need it.
Dirty 20. Okay. All right. Everybody takes, except for Issa, who made the save. Well, let me see here. Oh, Jean did not make the save. It's a total of 20 necrotic damage. Issa, you take half. And as she she does that, she regains some of the spectral form that she had, as if that wave of dark energy healed her. Fate's turn. Fate runs up and brandishes a sword that starts radiating a soft glow of divine energy. A warmth kind of encompasses the room as she swings at the Lich. The Lich brushes off the first attack and the second. However, the third attack lands, slamming directly into it. And does significant damage. Not quite as much as Jean's fire damage did, but still a substantial amount. All right. Augustine, you are standing on the other side of a obscured area with a deadly looking fog directly in front of you. You
But
cannot
you
see
said
beyond
it's heavily
Yes.
Okay.
You are unable to see the Lich.
Okay. I have to change what I was going to do then. Give me just a moment. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I don't think. Um. God. Augustine's going to have to take the long way around, so 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So she is not going through the poison. She is not poisoning herself.
Aw, come on. It'll be so much fun.
So that was a dash. I can't see Unya. I can't see Riva or Issa. Um, yeah, that's all I can do because I can't see anyone, so that'll be the end of my turn.
All right.
I will say, Augustine does kind of send a message over to Bo to come back to her
Okay.
with the gold. Poor Bo, and it's literally, can you bring that back down? Also, I will buy you as many drinks and sweets as you would like. I am so sorry.
Aye, aye, boss. Floats on over, puts the coin pouch right back where it was, and just sits on your shoulder. All right.
Scritches, little scritches.
Issa, you need to make another Constitution save as you started your turn inside of this death fog.
All right. $16.
Take another 29 poison damage as you cannot stave off the absolute monstrosity of this poisonous gas floating around you. It's your turn. What
Okay.
do you do?
For a bonus, I can disengage as a bonus action, right?
Not unless you have a rogue ability.
Intervention.
Yeah.
Should have taken a level in rogue. That would have made my days easier. I am going to.
The white area does not count as part of this sphere, so as long as you actually get out of touching it, you could move over here if you wanted to, or you could run back over. Well, I mean, you can't really see very much, but you can see kind of the walls right along here.
I'm gonna scoot over here.
Okay, you are
And
out of the fog
then,
now.
Yeah. And then I guess I'm going to do something. Sorry, I should have had some better idea of this. I'm gonna cast Blinding Smite
Okay.
and thwack her with my sword, I guess.
Okay. Roll to hit.
All right.
Blinding Smite is a spell attack, correct? Or is it something you can cast after you hit? I know that smites are different.
I think it's something I can cast after I hit. Let me double check.
I know that as a paladin,
I
you can
believe
cast
it
smite.
just it imbues the weapon with extra damage, is what it is.
Let me take a look. Let's see. Next time
I
you
think
hit a
anyway.
creature
I
with a
never use
melee,
blinding smite.
weapon flares with a bright light. Attack deals an extra 3d8 radiant to the target. So, let's see, must succeed on a con save or blinded until the spell ends. So it'll be entirely dependent on whether I hit the damn thing. All right. Let's see. 18. 28 to hit.
That hits.
Yes. This is going to be a problem, though, because I know what my sword does. And day or night?
It is still perpetually night.
Shouldn't matter to my sword. It's a time of day versus like an actual situation.
Yeah, well,
All right.
daylight has not come, so.
All right. Fine. I'll take my 1d8 necrotic first. Let's see what that does. So 5 necrotic, and then with that, what's it's added? Sorry, I have everything everywhere, and none of it is useful. Alright. Casting Blinding Smite for an extra 3d8 radiant. And that will put me at 13 for radiant.
Wonderful. I'm tracking the damage here. So far, you've done nice amount of damage.
Wasn't sure if the necrotic was going to cancel out.
No.
yeah.
It does. It when you hit with the sword itself before the radiant damage takes hold, doesn't seem to absorb it or anything along those lines. Just seems like it barely affects her.
Okay.
However, the radiant damage
Okay.
on top seems to completely mitigate anything that would have done and absolutely slams her. She wails out in pain and agony as your blade lands and the magic takes hold.
All right. And she needs to make a con save, DC 16, or be blinded until the spell ends, which is a minute.
Well, she is, what in the hell? Well, if that isn't an oversight, she is blind! Look, I don't often
Take
blame
my
Rick for
victories where I can
things,
find them.
but whoever designed this particular monster, you're a monster for not making her immune to blindness. Where's the I can't see button? Where is it? We're gonna make it... Nope, that's not it. Is there a not? I don't know. Whatever, we're gonna make it this one. Alright, little lightning bolts twirling around each other. Perfect. Alright, anything else you have for this turn, Azalea? Isira. There we go.
I mean, unless I can climb over the bookshelf to get out of her range, I don't think so.
Nope, that would require an action.
Yeah, so I'm good.
Alright, Riva. You need to make a constitution save, please. How big is the radius that gives the +3?
I probably don't need it as crit, so 21.
Okay. You take 14 poison damage total. That's already halved.
So much. So it's... I'm at 51 hit points. I started this fight with 111 hit points, by the way. I'm now at 51. I haven't even taken my first swing. That's fun. Okay. First of all, I'm gonna move out of this circle. I don't want to be in there anymore. All right. I'm gonna move. I assume I can move through her. She's like a ghost, right? Or a lich.
I will say that you can, but you will take an attack of opportunity if you try. Because she's not really a ghost so much as a lich, so it'd be a strength check. Actually, we'll just do a strength check to see if you can push through.
Okay. Just straight.
And it's 10
strength?
feet.
Yes.
Plus 23.
All right, you absolutely shove her out of the way. Yeah, she gets moved out of the way and kind of knocked into the bookshelf as you rush past, because she's not a strength-based character. You're welcome.
She's
all
also
right.
blind.
That's true.
So as my bonus
We're beating
action,
up a blind old weak woman.
I mean, that does say
Weak
a lot about
feels
your
like
party.
an overstatement.
He started it. All right, let's be very clear here. I was not going to attack her until she started poisoning both of us.
Physically weak. Physically weak.
Okay.
I don't know, she seems quite strong to me. I'm gonna use my bonus action to go into my form of dread.
Okay. What's that do?
I manifest by aspect my patron's dreadful power. I get some temp hit points, and I'm immune to frightened, and I can try to cause frightened on my turns
Okay.
with their attack. Also, I think it. Yeah, I also I changed to. Yeah, I think I do I want to describe how she looks? What she
Yeah,
does
if
it?
you want to go ahead and tell us what your dread form looks like.
All right. Um, as it happens, I don't know if she even knows what she's actively doing it, but her skin goes really pale white, like she's a corpse almost. Two like tiefling horns grow out of her forehead, and a mask appears on her face. And I'm going to use my action to booming blade on her. So it's
Okay.
action attack. I mean, I crit, so it's done quite a bit of damage if I remember correctly. Booming blade. See how much damage it is exactly. So it's 2d10 plus 48. And then if she moves, it takes more. So let's keep track of that.
Okay.
So let's just do it one time. So she takes 9 plus 15 plus.
Just give me total.
Yeah, I'm just saying out loud for me. Should write down some numbers. 15 plus 9, or 10 actually, plus 48. So that's 7 plus another 14. So it's 39, 46 damage, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 46 damage.
All right. She looks bloodied. Her form is starting to tear apart at the seams. The damage you have all dealt to her is very noticeable now. However, at the end of your turn, oh, never mind. Are you still going?
I doubt it's gonna work, but if you want to roll a wisdom save to see if she gets frightened.
Does she have to see you?
No, I think it's just it's once I attack her, I can force it to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
she's unfazed.
yeah, I assume so. Move on then.
All right. You all. Oh hell! How many people are here now? Oh, yep. That is Fate, Issa, Riva, and Jean all need to make Constitution saves. As another burst wave of negative energy pours forth from the Lich.
It's a 19, so it probably doesn't save.
24.
DC's
All
20.
right. Issa, you make a save. Was that including...
That was including her. Yeah,
Okay.
plus 3.
All right. Everyone
So-
that failed takes 24 necrotic damage, half for those who succeeded.
I'll use my reaction to reduce it.
Okay. And that is 12. Ugh. As her body begins to restore itself from that burst of energy. Unya, you already made your save. You rolled a 23. You are now unfrozen and no longer petrified, and you are able to move. You hear the sounds of battle and scuffling very distinctly from over here, because even the movement of Issa's feet booms through the library.
Son of the bitch!
Now you hear a very loud thundering son of a bitch.
That seems fair.
That's it. Running to the sound.
All right. Okay. Okie dokie. She's not a ghost, so she can't go through that. However, let's see here. What shall she do? Unya, you finished your turn. Now it's the head librarian's turn. She is going to risk attacks of opportunity to move over here. So that
She
is
takes-
1, 2, 3.
She takes damage from my booming blade when she moves.
All right.
Is this also doubled from crit?
I'm going to go ahead and
Sure.
allow it, yeah.
Alright, so it's gonna be 68. 4,
I'm not taking my
8.
opportunity. I just want this to be done and for her to be somewhere else.
So 19 more damage.
19, okay. All right, she appears to be back to where she was earlier with her form slowly dissipating and falling apart, chunks of rotten meat hitting the floor. Because that's how descriptive I want to be with this grotesque abomination. All right, I need to change the level of map that I'm on here. The fog dissipates almost immediately as you see she begins casting another spell. And let's see. Oh, she can only see Fate or Riva, so I'm going to go ahead and roll a die 4.
She can't see anyone. She's blind.
Oh, never mind. So instead,
Thank you.
she is going to cast... Oh. Invisibility, and she disappears. That is probably not the best one that I should have done. Hang on. Token layer. There we go. All right. And that is her turn. Jean is up, begins moving. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Objects. Kind of moves over here, prepares a spell. Moves up here, actually. And in the general area, we're going to go ahead and see if we can find it. Yep. Casts a Dispel Magic. And the invisibility of this one disappears, and she pops back up right there. And that is Jean's turn. He realizes that that's most he can do right now, ducks around this corner over here. Fate, seeing what's happened, runs up and again brandishes a sword. And I lost my die 20 and found it again. Taking multiple swipes. One really solid one. You see Fate sweep down her blade twice. Kind of, the first one glances off the side as the lich kind of brushes it away. The second one hits home, and as the blade sinks in, you see a radiant energy burst from the blade, and you see Fate reach out and grab the lich's arm, and the same light that bursts forth from the blade bursts forth from her hand at the exact same time, and a massive white light explodes before all of you. Not enough to blind any of you, but definitely something that is not normal. And with that... All right. She seems winded, and she looks as if she's trying to find a way to run off the next turn as she seems to have exerted a ton of power with that attack. Augustine, right before your turn. Oh no. Everyone but Unya needs to make a Constitution save. As another wave of negative energy bursts forth from this lich.
Another cool 3.
Nice. Jean has to make a save and botches it. That's
Jean and
lovely.
Riva, I think, are within range of me.
Oh, okay.
All right, it's a cool 6.
Nice.
24.
All right, you make it.
29 with a nat 20.
Nice. So you, Augustine, and Riva, or not Riva, but Augustine, Issa, and Fate made their save. Everyone else takes 25 necrotic damage, and you see some life going back into this decrepit creature. But still looks fairly messed up, just holding on to the cusp of life, or unlife in this case. Augustine, it is your turn. You felt the tear of negative energy rip your life force from your very body.
Did I? I succeeded on my save.
It still hurt.
Oh, okay. Augustine's going to move forward a bit, and she's going to have Bo give her advantage to cancel out that disadvantage she has. And she is going to... Oh, God. Which tab was it? Here we go. Okay. Okay, there's no save on it. So she's going to make a spell attack against Lich Bitch, which I have the thing pre-typed over here.
All right.
That's a 22.
That
To hit?
hits. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with that, she is casting... That is Phantasmal Killer. That is not what I was looking for. She's casting Witch Bolt at 5th level, which takes the damage to, if I calculated correctly, 5d12 for the first round, and she is transforming that to radiant damage.
Okay. Roll the damage.
That one I did not have pre-typed, so I'll do it in the chat. 48 points of radiant damage as she casts Witch Bolt. And let's see. Each of your turns, you can use your action. Okay, so any
Oh,
further
so
damage,
high.
Augustine has to use an action to do it, but 48 radiant for the first.
Okay. How do you end this lich?
So there's all this chaos, and Augustine has not been able to get into the midst of this fight because she had to avoid the poison cloud. So I feel like she feels that first rush, like the first time the necrotic energies actually touched her. And she kind of like steps around the bookcase and she's like, you know, I'm sort of sick of things trying to kill me and my friends. And just throws her hand out for like this lightning bolt shaped burst of radiant light to just slam into the lich and explode the lich.
Explode the lich you have. And with that, we are out of combat. However, we are still in turns. Augustine, you just finished your turn. Issa, you are still thunderingly loud.
I mean, I can't do this quietly, but I am going to at least endeavor to walk gingerly over to the donation box and just drop 100 gold in and go, I'm so sorry.
Ridgewell Beckett just looks at you and goes, I appreciate it, but you just saved me a huge headache and effectively gave me a promotion. So, free of charge. Snaps his fingers and the curse is gone.
I'm still dropping the gold in there.
Okay.
It's important to fund libraries.
Yes. Support your local libraries, everybody. Because the government sure as hell ain't doing it. I guess that depends on where you live. Whatever. You understand. That's right. We have a smart audience, despite the fact that they're watching us. That's not a... Whatever. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've just offended
Are you?
all of the two
The brain
viewers
cell
we
is
have.
held in the audience.
It's true. They're certainly not here. All right. So you have effectively removed your curse. Riva, it is your turn. What do you wish to do?
I guess, seeing as there's not anyone fighting right now, as far as we're aware, Riva stops her reverie and kind of sits down on the ground. It's like, I'm going to go. I need to take a little rest. I'm not feeling too good anymore. It literally took a lot out of me. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
3rd level. I'll do it myself. So do this really quickly. So, and predicate, but otherwise that's it for me.
All right. All righty. So you heal yourself. Unya, it is your turn. What do you wish to do?
Well, the threat's over. So, I don't feel like making any donations to break the curse. I break myself.
Yeah, your curse is already gone. It is done.
I have a question for the librarian, the new head librarian, I guess.
Uh-huh.
What can you tell me about artifacts?
It depends on the artifact
And
you're talking about.
I'll show him the one specifically I'm asking about. My book.
You hold up the book and he goes, do you know the author?
Nope.
Do you mind? Holds out his hand.
As long as it comes back to me.
I have no need to steal your book. Opens it up and he
I'll hand it
goes,
to him.
ah. So, while an artifact, and while most artifacts are very unique, this artifact actually has multiple copies. One of them locked in the do not enter section of the library because it's dangerous.
That I can believe.
Is there anything specific you wanted to know about the book? Other than that you shouldn't use it?
Can I trust the questions that I ask?
Can you trust the questions?
The answers I receive, can I trust them?
Oh, you're asking about its use. There's only one other person I know that is familiar with this book, and he said that he had asked a couple questions and that you either understand and you get a truthful answer, or you don't understand and you don't know what the answer was.
So I can expect that the answer is true, just not that I would understand the answer.
Yes. However, there is a
Good to know.
curse laid upon this book, you realize.
That kind of seems to be a theme lately. I just got turned to stone.
I did say that knowledge comes at a price, did I not? That being said, any curses that are laid upon you by the books because the person who put them there is no longer here, if asked, I will simply remove them for you, as you've done me a great service.
Fair enough.
Anything else?
Nope. I'm gonna take my book and go sit down at a table and start reading.
Oh my god. All right, John heads back over and starts looking at the desk and goes, "Okay, so I've gotten this one. That should be helpful. Not necessarily. I guess I better look up something on what we're doing here. Both parts are important. Both parts are important. He looks at Beckett and goes, "Do you have anything? We were looking for something with balance, right? So any type of balance." And Beckett goes, "Yeah, we've got a couple others. There's the Dance of the Elements and Nature's Dance, which are kind of here and there with balance and how all things must be. So I guess that one." And he goes, "Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at where can I find Nature's Dance." And Beckett points over to a bookshelf just right behind him, and he walks over. And
Did the rest of us hear that?
yeah, he says it out loud.
Nature's Dance is the one that we found in the woods.
You found various pages of it, absolutely.
Yeah.
However, this is the complete book. Knowledge gained, and he'll read it out loud as he's kind of like gleaning knowledge and says it. "The heathens and pagans frolic beneath the painted sky. Wine is drunk, food is shared, and blood is spilled. They congregate along the jagged coastline of ashen rock to throw their offerings into the inky black depths below. I keep my distance, watching from the southern edge of the celebration. I have no fear of these savages, but the closer I get to that coastline, the heavier the air becomes. I taste copper in my mouth, my chest grows tight. This will be the last time I attend such a gathering. The quaint beauty of the surrounding forest is much more to my taste." I have to. My God. I have to. All right. I've got something I got to tell Jean about. Perfect.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. All right. Jean goes, "Okay." Fate walks over and looks at a different book, and she goes, "I guess I'll go ahead and take a look at The Dance of Elements by Emmeline Devin. The knowledge she gains is the lights in the sky are gorgeous. The frosted forest is breathtaking, and wait, hang on. Did we already do this one? Yeah, that's the one that Jean did last time. So never mind. She's going to go, okay, so we've looked up stuff about the Shadelands.
I think we've missed Screams of the Shadelands and Philosophies on Warlocks.
Okay, so philosophical study of warlocks, I believe, was done by Unya. There are two more books that pop up as Beckett is looking through. One is The Accursed King, a Portrait, and Black Pact, a Bloody History. And I will roll to see which one she does. She will look up The Accursed King, a Portrait. By Shaelgith Smead. In summation, Dorian deserves his accursed moniker, but not for the reason intended by those who bestowed it upon him. He is not the accursed king because he is some infernal beast. No, he is accursed because he has damned himself and sacrificed to save us all. King Dorian is the selfless hero that will protect the Shadelands from annihilation. Those who cast aspersions his way can never know the pain he's endured for us. They will never know the depths of his sacrifice. Oh Christ. Fate has been cursed. The party immediately forgets the cursed player's name and all details about them. All the party knows is the player is a member of their party, but can't remember anything else. If the cursed player reminds them of who they are, the party will forget again in 30 seconds. Any party member who tries to assist or aid the accursed player in any way will have disadvantage on ability checks. She reads that out and says, so it seems that Dorian is kind of according to this, the thing that holds everything together.
Eh, I'm sorry.
Augustine's gonna like start walking towards the head librarian now, but as she does, just sorry, what was your name again?
Who? What? I'm Beckett. You know who I am.
No, turned towards Fate. I'm sorry, and said because Fate was talking to them
Oh, right.
as she was walking towards the library.
That's Fate. She came in here with you.
Gonna like exchange a look with the others. Like, am I missing something here?
Fate looks at you all perplexed by the absolute blank stares you're giving her.
Why do we keep having people claim that we know?
I don't
Did you-
I'm
know.
gonna turn to Riva. Is this another like gear thing?
Yeah, did you die? What's his name?
She walks over to Beckett and just goes, "Is it a thing?" He goes, "Yeah." You all instantly remember who she is.
Oh,
Oh,
I guess
fuck,
he didn't
sorry.
die.
could you also? I'm getting a little soggy, please.
Oh, yes.
Like points up at the rain cloud.
The rain cloud is gone. Absolutely. Anything for you, you poor thing. The cloud goes away. She goes, "Oh, weird." Anyway,
Does
Augustine.
Riva still have a book on her shoulder?
Still got a book on.
Yeah,
Also,
Riva's
I've
got a
asked like
book on
at
her
least
shoulder.
5 questions. And,
Is getting pecked in the head.
Every time
Yeah.
she doesn't ask a question to it specifically first.
so I feel like I've taken at least quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2. You've taken about 28 damage now, give or take.
Hey, this bird keeps or this book keeps poking me in the head. Is that on purpose or is it? Ow!
Ugh.
Damn it. Okay.
The familiar turns back into a book and falls on the floor. Problem
Why
solved.
does your books? Why do they curse people? Is there a reason for that?
It was the old head librarian's doing. She firmly believed that everything has a price, especially knowledge. Not that it should be given freely, unlike myself.
I'm gonna go over to Riva and just 30 points lay on hands.
Thank you. It hurt so bad. I was at 18 points.
So the books are safe to read now?
Well, I'm not going to guarantee that they won't have some effect, but I can fix it for you. Augustine, it is your turn.
Augustine's gonna turn to Beckett
Yes.
and kind of lower her voice, even though I'm sure someone's still gonna overhear her. Do you have anything about a person that becomes a patron? How they might do that, or what the cost might be?
No, not personally. I mean, the only thing I could think of is maybe it's in this book, but I mean, I've heard tale of people becoming patrons, but I don't remember any of them. People asking questions here and there, and no one's ever come back to confirm whether or not they succeeded. I would assume it's some form of dark pact or something. I don't know.
What books haven't we read yet? Wasn't there the
yeah,
other one Fate had picked up?
yeah. So there's Black Pact: A Bloody History by Kazir Lagao.
Augustine's gonna sigh, and she's gonna stay right there in case she has to ask for assistance, and is going to read it right there.
Okay. So Black Pact: A Bloody History. The knowledge gained is as follows. It is a common misconception that warlocks only maintain one pact with one patron. This is likely true for most, however, those willing to stretch their souls to the breaking point can always take on more power. As long as they draw breath, and even after in some cases, there is always more power to be drawn from the well. You lose your corporeal form. You become wispy and translucent. You are now a ghost and must make a charisma check in order to interact physically with anything or anyone.
But can they hear me?
Yeah.
She just looks down at her hands, passes through a couple pages of the book, just picks her hand back up. Could you please fix this?
Your
Thank
body
you.
is back. So, I think that's all the books I have really on that. About the Shadelands themselves, that odd question over there about an obelisk. Jean just goes, yeah, thanks. Kind of reading the book.
Augustine's gonna step away a little bit to let the others, because they mentioned they might have other things they want to research.
Absolutely.
And she is actually gonna try and reach out to her brother. It's weird to say that. And isn't sure if he'll verbally answer back this time now that she knows who he is or not, but reaches out and just mentally asks, if I continue down this path, am I going to actually find out what you did?
A voice that you haven't heard in years says one word. Perhaps.
Augustine's gonna stay off to the side because she might be crying a little bit, but you can't see it because her back is turned.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ignore turns this time. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to look up in the library? Or do you feel that you've gleaned enough information? All right, Issa, go ahead.
I'm looking for any way to, if there is a way to break a thrall out from a vampire without necessarily having to kill their master.
Ah. This seems like a specific request. Beckett goes, I think we have something in here. However, it is not a book so much as a ritual in book form. One moment. And he heads back and motions his hand. And a door in the back, you hear a clicking sound. And then a door open ever so slightly, and a book floats into his hand. And on the front, it is the picture of a very familiar symbol that you all saw around a mansion. He goes, this is something that we acquired long ago, and you did not see it here. And he hands you over the book, and it just says, it doesn't say anything on the front. It's just the symbol. As you open the front, the cover inside says Trenball. M. Trenball.
I'm gonna ask you to spell that at some point.
Yeah. I will
That bitch
spell it
wrote
for
a
you
book?
later. You specifically make an intelligence check at
All right.
advantage. You can
Such
roll.
as that is for me.
Ha
All right. You said intelligence check.
Uh-huh.
Better. 24.
Okay. So you start looking through the book and you realize that this is a diary. You're floating through the book. You're kind of looking through. There's some incantation and ritual style things that are written in here, and there's some notes here that's like little side scrollings that say per ZZ you'd need the heart of a lich and something else, and just kind of scribbling here and there.
I'm gonna glance back at where Augustine exploded a lich recently, and then ask the librarian, "Would would you mind terribly if I took a look in that?" And
Just clean up after yourself.
I'm gonna go sniffing for a lich heart.
All right. I'm not gonna make any checks. It's pretty. The front splayed open. There's the charred remains of a lich heart in there. With that being said, anybody else have anything that they were going to talk to the librarian about? Okay. So, gleaning all the information you could, you all eventually walk outside.
Before we go out,
Mm-hmm.
while Issa's doing that, can I pull Fate aside really quick?
Yes.
And Augustine has mostly wiped away her tears, but she kind of doesn't care if Fate sees that she was crying. Make sure that she pulls Fate out of earshot of the others. I have a favor to ask, and whatever your price, if there is a price, I will pay it. But I can't think of anyone else who might have any inkling of information. Do you know of a patron that can make a pact to make someone else into a patron?
No. But there's obviously a way. I've dealt with many new patrons that came through here. I always kind of assumed that they had just made it to this realm, but who knows? I will keep an eye out to see if there's anything I can find.
The thing is, Fate, I know that it's possible. I need to know what price was paid. It turns out I know my patron.
Interesting. Well, that's information I didn't previously have, so I will do my best to find the information for you.
Thank you, and I will give you any sort of favor that you would like for it. Whatever you find.
Of course.
So, as you're all walking out, you have your little conversation with Majin, or Fate. Majin turns around.
So, did you find anything out? Anything new? Anything catch your eye, your ear?
What do you know about a well of souls?
Interesting. I mean, that could very well be it. Well of Souls.
And the Ashen Rock.
I don't know about the Ashen Rock, but the Well of Souls, that does ring a bell. I This chaos might be being caused because the Well of Souls might be in danger or broken. Bring the books with you.
How do you
They're-
break souls?
It's hard to explain, but it's a well of them. Some wells have water, others apparently have souls.
Who's putting the souls there?
Not entirely certain. But go ahead and bring the books. I know there are enough notes in there for us to use. But I would just make sure you return them. Helena is known to put curses on her books.
I don't think we got to worry
About
about
that.
Yeah. She kind of got exploded.
Oh, so
I'm
I can
not
go
sure
back
if
into the
this is an
library.
oops or a you're welcome.
Time will tell, I guess. I guess that means that, huh. If we're going to learn about the Well of Souls, I guess we'll have to visit it. So, into Rem Exius we go. I'd like to apologize in advance for the next part.
And that's where we'll pick up in 2 weeks, everybody. Unfortunately, Jeff wasn't able to join us for this one. He's doing some moving, and with the next part coming up, I definitely want to make sure that Jeff is there as we enter into the next chapter. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Once again, we will not have City of Illumination tomorrow, but we should be back to City of Illumination next weekend. And then the week after that, we'll return to programming as normal as long as nothing comes up. Once again, please follow me on Twitter at Biscuit10RPG, Instagram, where I basically drop all of my TikTok stuff, which is also at Biscuit10RPG. So I'm Biscuit10RPG on all the places. So go there, check out my Ko-Fi, support us, stay engaged because I'll be dropping some more information as soon as we have some updates on the first gate. And like I said, we're already working on the second thing. Other than that, have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time.